Chernobyl. The night that changed the world forever on a quiet spring night. At the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant in what is now northern Ukraine, a routine safety test began. It was expected to last only a few minutes. Instead, it became one of the worst technological disasters in human history. The purpose of the test was to determine whether the reactor's turbines could generate enough electricity to power emergency cooling systems during a blackout. But a combination of human error, flawed reactor design, and poor safety decisions pushed Reactor No. 4 into an unstable condition. Within seconds, the reactor's power surged uncontrollably. Then came two massive explosions. The 2,000-ton reactor lid was blown into the air. The reactor core was exposed, and burning graphite released enormous amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere. For the first time in history, a commercial nuclear reactor had exploded. In the first hours after the accident, few people understood what had actually happened. Firefighters rushed to the scene believing they were responding to an ordinary industrial fire. Without proper protective equipment, they climbed onto burning rooftops and battled flames glowing with invisible radiation. Many of these brave men received fatal doses of radiation within minutes. Most died painfully over the following days and weeks from acute radiation syndrome. Today, they are remembered as heroes who sacrificed their lives to prevent an even greater catastrophe. Just 3 kilometers away, the city of Pripyat remained completely unaware of the danger. More than 49,000 residents, including thousands of children, woke up and went about their normal morning. Children played outside, people walked to work, families looked forward to the weekend. None of them knew that invisible radioactive particles were falling all around them. 36 hours later, authorities finally ordered a full evacuation. Residents were told to pack only essential belongings because they would return in 3 days. They never did. Their homes, schools, toys, photographs, and personal belongings remain exactly where they left them, frozen in time. Meanwhile, radioactive clouds spread rapidly across Europe. The Soviet Union initially tried to keep the disaster secret. But the truth could not stay hidden for long. On April 28, workers at a nuclear power plant in Sweden detected unusually high radiation levels on their own clothing. After careful investigation, scientists traced the contamination back to Chernobyl, nearly 1,100 kilometers away. Only then did the Soviet government publicly admit that an accident had occurred. By that time, radioactive contamination had already spread across much of Europe. Containing the disaster required an enormous human effort. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers, engineers, miners, firefighters, and construction workers were sent into the contaminated zone. They became known as the liquidators. Some cleared radioactive debris by hand because even specially designed robots failed under the intense radiation. Others flew helicopters directly over the destroyed reactor, dropping thousands of tons of sand, lead, clay, and boron in an attempt to reduce radioactive emissions. Many workers were allowed to stay in the most contaminated areas for only 30 to 90 seconds before being replaced by another team. Despite the extreme danger, their work prevented an even larger disaster. Within months, a massive concrete and steel structure called the sarcophagus was built around Reactor No. 4. It was designed to contain the radioactive material and protect the surrounding environment. However, the structure was never intended to last forever. Over time, it began to deteriorate. In 2016, engineers completed one of the largest movable structures ever built, the new safe confinement. This enormous steel arch was carefully slid into place over the damaged reactor, creating a safer barrier that is expected to last at least 100 years. Today, nearly 4 decades later, the Chernobyl exclusion zone remains one of the most unusual places on Earth. Large areas are still unsafe for permanent human settlement. Yet nature has made an extraordinary comeback. With humans gone, forests have expanded, and wildlife has flourished. Wolves, elk, deer, wild boar, foxes, lynx, and even rare bird species now roam the exclusion zone. Chernobyl has become an unexpected natural laboratory, showing both the destructive power of radiation and the remarkable resilience of nature. The Chernobyl disaster changed the world forever. It exposed weaknesses in nuclear safety, forced governments to adopt stricter international standards, and transformed how nuclear power plants are designed and operated. The lessons learned continue to influence the global nuclear industry today. Today, the abandoned Ferris wheel in Pripyat, the silent apartment buildings, the empty classrooms, and the damaged Reactor No. 4 stand as powerful reminders of what happened on that April night. Chernobyl is more than a historical event. It is a warning about the consequences of human error, secrecy, and the importance of safety. Its story continues to remind the world that even a single mistake can leave a legacy that lasts for generations.